hard week because there's been a lot of loss. The word stress, these words and phrases this week. As a matter of fact, while I was writing my thoughts down for what I'd say to you this morning, there was a news report about what normal is going to look like when the crisis is over. So are you ready to get back to normal? Man, I think one of the reasons why at this point we're talking about normal, even with so much of the crisis still happening, going on, is that the change has been over the top for us, right? And by and large, most of us don't like a lot of change, and it's just been unprecedented change going on in our lives. I mean, think about it. I think this is mostly true. Matter of fact, a week or two ago, I almost said about the kids being glad they were out of school. This is true now, I think, and I've talked to some of our kids from Friendship Wesleyan Church. Most of them would love to get back to school now. Talk about weird. Talk about different. Parents are ready, kids are ready. We're all ready for some normal, right? So we're talking about normal. There's at least one after Easter story in the Bible, maybe others, but I'm focused on one this morning. At least it came to mind, where the participants in the story were trying to do everything they could to get back to normal. It's in John chapter 21. Let me read some of it for you, and then tell you what I'm kind of thinking about why these guys were ready for normal. So it says, verse 1, chapter 21 of the Gospel of John. Afterward, Jesus appeared again to his disciples by the Sea of Galilee. It happened this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, also known as Didymus, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and two other disciples were together. I'm going out to fish, Simon Peter told them. And they said, we'll go with you. So they went out, got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Now you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. It's after Easter. They have the hope of Easter. And what are they doing? They're going fishing. You have to remember these guys, by and large, were fishermen, right? It's their profession, it's their life. And I think number one, they had the hope of Easter, but they were still very uncertain about the future. What did it mean? What was it going to look like? And I think that's in a lot of ways where we are. I hope you're beginning to feel some hope that there'll be an end to this. We're starting to get some answers about what all this has meant, about the coronavirus, how contagious it is, things like that. But we're still uncertain about the future, and we would love to have some normal in our lives. And I think that's what was happening with these guys, is they wanted some normal. Matter of fact, I'm not going to read to you the rest of the story, but it's really interesting. I mean, you caught that they were catching nothing. That was probably pretty normal too. I know some family members of mine went fishing the other day and pretty much caught nothing, right? That's a big part of what fishing is about. But in this story, Jesus was over on the shoreline. At first, they didn't realize it was him. And he asks a question. He says, friends, haven't you any fish? I mean, he knew they hadn't caught any fish, right? And then you probably know the rest of the story. If you don't, go read it, because it's very interesting. But he tells them to throw their net on the other side of the boat, and then they catch all of these fish, right? And then it says that the disciple whom Jesus loved, which would be John, the author of the Gospel, said to Peter, "It is the Lord." So what does Peter do? He dives in out of the boat, right, to get to Jesus as fast as he could. And the others follow along in the boat. And then it says, when they landed, they saw a fire burning coals there with fish on it and some bread. Let me skip some verses. Verse 12 says, Jesus said to them, come and have breakfast. Now that may not mean much for you, but breakfast is kind of like a normal for me. My kids grew up, and I love breakfast, one of my favorite meals of the day. So when I think of normal, I think of having a decent breakfast. So I think, really, when you look at this story, Jesus understood their need for normal. And in this story, he was putting some normal back for them, knowing that by and large things would never be the same for them ever again. I think we know that. That's the scary part of this, right? As a matter of fact, I think this is one of the reasons why James writes in James chapter 1, verse 17. Listen to this. James chapter 1, verse 17. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. Who does not change. You know, when I think of normal, matter of fact, Sunday I'm going to expand on this. What is normal? In the midst of all of this change and all of us knowing, and it's a scary thought, that a lot of things will never be the same again, we can know that the God before this crisis is the same God after this crisis. He's been in control all the time, the whole way through. He doesn't change. As a matter of fact, I was thinking the most normal thing any of us could have done before this crisis and any of us could do now is be in a relationship with our Creator. But in light of that, I want to tell you something, because we realize that we need some normal back in our lives. So I want to announce to you this morning that I've talked to our leadership at Friendship Wesleyan Church, and our leadership is hoping and planning for some normal. And so we want to announce that we have plans to meet at church again. Now listen, some of you are like, how's that going to happen and what are you going to do? And all we're doing is basing it off this. The stay-at-home order in Michigan is supposed to expire, be rescinded on May 1st. And so if that takes place, we're ready to change this at any time. If that takes place, and we're hopeful it does, then we want to meet back at church again on May the 10th. Guess what day that is? That's Mother's Day. Can you imagine Mother's Day and Easter? Because we've been saying we're going to like redo Easter on the day we get back together. What a celebration it's going to be. Now, I want you to know, I've already said it, if we need to, so keep in touch, keep checking back to our website, Facebook, about our places of information. But we're going to follow all recommended guidelines, whatever that is at the time, social distancing. But listen to me, even with all that, we're going to have a celebration like never. Your leadership is talking about all kinds of options, whatever it is, including the guidelines and all. It's going to be awesome. So keep checking. We'll keep you up to date on that, let you know what's happening. Hey, you know what? I want to mention something also, and that is this, about our financial giving. I want to make that clear because sometimes I say giving, because there's a lot of giving going on in ministry. This week, food still be handing out. I'm so grateful for all of that. But our financial giving at Friendship Wesleyan Church, no words to express. I don't know what to say. I know I've said it every week, but it's a God thing. As a matter of fact, our giving it's the best that it's ever been. And I think it's a testimony to me that the church loves God, loves Jesus more than the fear of this crisis. It's a testimony of trust from all of us that the giving is on such a miraculous proportion. So thank you so much. I've heard people talking about giving off of the stimulus check, which is I know it's supposed to be a thing that brings them some confidence. And so you kind of expect people to hold on to it or whatever else. And people have been giving in so many forms and in so many ways. So thank you so much. If you have any questions about how you can give, just let us know by phone call or social media, whatever. Easter was awesome. We were on different platforms. We were on Facebook, YouTube, and our new online church. And we have links on our website. We'll have a link on Facebook. We're going to do the same thing this Sunday. It makes it with live. It creates the service with live interaction. Matter of fact, we weren't sure what was going to happen because we have a way on the online.church to actually have people make a decision for Christ. And we had someone raise their hand to make a decision for Jesus. Now, there's nothing I've talked to that's better than that, more important than that. So we're grateful. This Sunday, 9:30 and 11 a.m., it'll be like live. There'll be live interaction, both services. So whichever works best for you, be sure to be there. I've mentioned our website. We have prayer opportunities on there you can connect with. If you want to post a prayer request, you can do that there, or on social media if you don't mind it being public or whatever. And bell ringing, some of you have known about that. We're doing that on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. We accepted a challenge in our local community to do that. The deal is because now with our new platform, we can be like live at 11 o'clock. It won't be live online. We've had people driving up. We have a bell. Matter of fact, we posted a picture this morning on Facebook, or we're going to, so you can check out. It's just there temporarily, but we're using that bell. We're ringing it at 11 o'clock. Some people have been driving in the parking lot. Feel free to do that. Keep your social distance, and we're going to have a word of prayer out there, but it won't be live online to allow those who go there at 11 o'clock to continue to do that. I don't know if you knew this, but today is National Stress Awareness Day. And I just want to say to you in conclusion that there's irony in that, right? I'm pretty sure that was planned before all this happened. If you're feeling stressed today, maybe put some normal back into your day. I don't know if that's breakfast. I don't know if it's something in the routine. But man, I think the big thing is to remember that the most normal thing you can do is to be in a relationship with God, with your Heavenly Father, with Jesus. If you want to know more about that, go to our website, go up to the top, there's a tab. I think it's Hope, Finding Hope, or Hope in Prayer, and then when you hit that, it'll drop down to Finding Hope, and you can go there and find out exactly what it means. Miss everybody. We love you tons. Your leadership's doing an incredible job. Keep them in prayer. We're praying for you. Man, God bless you all. Have a God week.